from the Tuesday ones. More or less the same. Right, okay. Or if it does record now, try and put them both together. Right, so yeah, just getting a little bit of shadow here. Blend that in a little bit with the paper blenders. These sort of pointy paper blenders are quite nice, but they're good for just pushing the charcoal around into corners. And then there's actually quite a lot of highlight on the top of his lip, so it's mostly shadow under the lip now. So just looking at where the shadows fall, there's not really much shaping here, just a very tiny bit. I could probably just soften and blend in. Yeah, but quite a strong shadow just here under the bottom lip, which just helps to describe that shape. Over my finger. And then his chin, I usually just take a guess at that. But again, you can measure that. You could go back to the eye and just see how that compares. That to me is about a nice grid. So that feels about right. And then working out the shape of the face, the features, or not the features, the actual shape of the head. So his eyebrow comes out a little bit there and then comes up. And we've just got some curls there. Probably need to do a bit more work here. I've lost a bit of shape in there. The sign of his cheekbone, just looking at how far out this comes, the widest part of his cheekbone is about there, which is roughly in line with the tip of his nose. So think about there. And then that comes in really right, quite close to the lips. And then starts to go the other way, starts to go that way. So as this is charcoal, it's actually in shadow here. There's a little bit of shadow there. But what I try and do is almost like draw a line, then lose the line, lose that into the background. So it could be that I just draw tone and just line that up there. And then here there is a little bit of shadow. And then there's background that's sort of creating that highlight on his chin there. There's a little bit of shadow in there, a little bit of highlight coming out there. So that's quite a nice way of just getting lights. Basically got to get the darks in to push the lights out. His chin sort of there, shoulder there. His neck, basically just looking at where that lines up. It's going to be about here. And then his jawline, that's coming across here. And lots of shadow in there. We can, so we've got ears in the picture. The bottom of his earlobe, for me, is roughly level with his nostril, so I'm thinking somewhere there. And then I'll probably draw it back from here. This space here, there's a lot more space than we imagine there usually. It's not very interesting in the corner of your eye, in your ear, but quite often that gets squashed up because the interesting bits are these bits. So again, it's worth measuring that, and I'd say it's about like that, where his hairline is coming in. And then following up just trying to follow the shapes in relation to his eyes. I think I've gone a bit high here actually, haven't I? And then the top of his head here. And just got the bottom of his earlobe about there. There's some shadow in there. So it'll give me maybe in a little bit further over. Just want to soften that out a little bit because it's a little bit sharp, quite drawn, and there's some shadows in there. And perhaps give that a little bit more. Like that. And then the back of his neck really comes down from there, in the earlobe. Across there, and then I could then draw the front of his vest, just seeing where that point is, and then working back and over. So that's the kind of basic process. Obviously, you can sort of tone this in, keep going, and then just try and follow the shapes of his hair. Is that okay?
Yeah.